really. All this nice fat, we used to use whale blubber years and years ago, but every part of the carcass is used today. Fat goes to rendering for not just makeup, but other types of things like,
Soap.
yeah, all kinds of things. So what we're going to do is we're going to peel this off and we're going to expose the whole tenderloin. Hopefully, I got to cut it this way, so start peeling it back. Tim, you could talk on trimming.
We talked about before, each of the 10 science-based specs has a reason behind it. Okay, each one of them is to ensure the quality and the integrity. Like we talked about the consistency. Excuse me. We talked about the no hump. Okay, that's going to eliminate that Brahma influence, which is going to eliminate the possibility or lessen the possibility of tough steaks. One of the things you look at in that sales map is you look at a study that was done by Colorado State University, where if you're buying select beef and you're serving a steak to your guests, you have about a
Feel that.
1 in...
It's leaf lard.
Just show everybody this.
Breaks apart. It's different than round fat on the outside of the carcass. Pass it around.
If you're serving a select steak to your guests, okay, you've got a 1 in 6 chance of that steak coming back to the kitchen as being undesirable. It was tough, it didn't eat well, it wasn't tender. You move up to choice, it's 1 in 13, so you've doubled your odds. Then you move up to certified Angus, your odds are 1 in 50, okay? So one of the things about certified Angus is the consistency you get every single week with that product. More and more owners and more chefs have realized the most important thing is getting that returning guest. If you don't get that returning guest, great. You got a little bit more business that one night, but if you can get them back week after week after week, that's what's going to grow your business. And odds of 1 in 50 of a tough steak are a lot better than 1 in 13 or 1 in 6.
So what I'm doing, and when the cutters and processors are pulling meat apart, they're looking for seams, because there's natural seams in the carcass where you can actually take muscles out. What I did is really just pull out that kidney fat. I just weighed it on there. Anybody take a guess how much that weighed?
10 pounds.
No, but it's a good guess. No, it's about 3 pounds. It's going to be about 3 pounds when I get done cutting it all off. I just paid $3 a pound for something I put in a trash can. What was this cost? Probably in the fours. So there's $12 I just threw in the trash can.
And you're paying somebody to take away the trash.
Yeah, right.
Because that usually isn't for free.
Right. So we talk about the benefits of further cutters and processors. There's definitely a financial attribute of having people cut meat and going all the way down to portion controls, because there's a lot less waste. If you're not an experienced or seasoned cutter, you can lose a lot of money. What if I had just gouged that tenderloin when I was trimming it? I mean, that's expensive trim. I mean, especially at what the cost of beef is today. So what I had done here, if you guys can see that in the other room, is I exposed the whole fillet. We still have the hip bone where the boneless sirloin is going to come from here. You guys can see the knuckle. Some of that knuckle meat is right here where it actually couches it around, where they break it. For this loin, they don't do this in a packer anymore. This is a special cut we just use for certain users. And here's your top butt, or your baseball sirloin is going to come out of here. And your culotte muscle, you're right here. Anybody know what the culotte muscle is?
Awesome piece of meat.
Very good. This is like the 4th most tender muscle on the carcass today. I mean, if we just take that off and grill it to 160, eat it, it's very tender. Brazilian steakhouses use a ton of this muscle. We export about 2 billion pounds a year to Brazil alone. A lot of it. So a lot of that muscle is getting exported because they bend it over to skewer, stack it up, put it on a rotisserie.
With the fat on it, it almost sort of self-bastes itself as it's cooking on the...
So, and you, in the Boston market today, sirloin flat meat, you guys steak tip, sirloin flat meat, that's the muscle right here. It's broken off the carcass, and it'll be the other part of that muscle, but it butts right here. You can see that coarse muscle? 98% of all flat meat today in the United States that's harvested comes to the Boston market. They don't use it in the West. They use a little bit in Texas for thin fajita meats, but right here, and it's going to be that big, almost all comes to the Boston market. Or tri-tips all go to where? California. California, the biggest users of tri-tips out there. Regionally in the United States, there's different cuts that sell better. Briskets, most of them go to Texas. They love their brisket. You go to truck stops and have a great brisket lunch. So, that what I just did is I seamed off that fat. Now I'm going to pull the tenderloin out. But there's 2 parts of this.